Hey, everybody, it's the coach. Between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. With that, we send you up to U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Standing by our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They're losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by a man who was undrafted out of Buffalo, standing at 6'7". It's Tyree Jackson.
And what I loved about meeting with him before the game was talking to a guy who takes ownership of his performance. 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions last week, but all he focused on was the loss, okay? And he did say, if I change my stats a little bit, not necessarily for me to look better, but that'll help my team.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. And with this offense, what about DJ Fluker?
Came out of Alabama, could play tackle, could play guard. He's so big, Brandon, I think he plays both at the same time.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw is Jackson. Throwing again. Eventually, he's taken down here. Great coverage downfield, resulting in the sack.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass, followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Vikings send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44.
Check 50, check 50. Check, lucky.
They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set them back for 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
He's crashing. He's checking crash.
Hey, Charlie. Now.
To throw on 2nd down. Riley. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against them.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Hey, Sam off.
Looking to throw. Riley. This is White on the screen. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and very long. And that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves him well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position. And I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league. But the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early. But there's that special one there. I say they go get him.
From the 25 on 2nd down. Jackson toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Phillip Dorsett, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
Jackson, and he's able to find Diggs. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. On 3rd down, Jackson. Wide open receiver complete.
Holding offense.
So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? Jackson from the shotgun. That's caught. It's Coleman. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the first down due to the previous penalty.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Zipper.
25, check 25, check 25. Check.
Squeeze. Get it.
The drive starts with a run by White. And he takes this just about a yard shy of the 20. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
I guess it's good we can't really read the mind of the defensive coordinator now, huh?
Had him pinned back there deep, give up that run. Can't be happy.
Yeah, whatever is in his mind right now, we probably couldn't say over the air.
Go. Ready.
They go right back to White here on first down. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. The numbers for White a week ago, 10 carries, 95 yards.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
3rd and 1, who you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Hey.
Back to throw. Riley. He's got Smith here. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
5 plays there on that drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, Everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
The end result, 21 yards.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll run for the first time with Tevin Coleman. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Tevin Coleman, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That drive started on their own 25. 2 plays, 75 yards later, into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
These two teams all tied after 1. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. On 2nd down, they'll run with White. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
On the set. 53, Mike. Hey, Delta. Shoot. Look at me. Door. Door out.
On 3rd down, Riley dancing to his left. Looking here for Smith downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Jackson now to throw again. It's caught. Smith. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Looking to throw on second down. Riley, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A'Shawn Robinson, too much to handle that time, gets the sack.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, third and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Throwing on third and long. Riley is into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return will stop right around the 25. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. This quarterback now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Now it's Jackson. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. That'll bring up second down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tevin Coleman with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. 2nd and 6. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards, first down, Atlanta.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
You go tight. You got tight.
Hey, lock it.
Switch. Check.
On 1st and 10, Riley. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
He's coming. He's got double.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Kill. He's coming. Double up.
Look, squeeze. Shift. They're going.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Under 10. Slam.
They'll try and run with their fullback. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
3rd and inches, they just handed to the big battering ram there. That's football 101, isn't it? That's bread and butter. Turn around, hand it to the big fella, and let him get forward for a first down.
Check 24.
Stand.
Whip. Watch the whip.
Shoot.
First down, here's White. And an alley to run. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 17 yards and a first down for Atlanta.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Check 52. Kill. Check 26. Check 26.
Going on the ground, it's White. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
2nd and 4. And that'll be incomplete. Zay Jones was the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and 4.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw is probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. This will be the 8th play of the drive here. 3rd and 4.
Leo. Look at me. Go. Now.
Looking to throw. Riley. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal for the offense. 10-play drive. They might be...
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And now with still more than a minute to go in what's been a tight game, you figure we'll try to see them move the ball downfield.
And remember, they get the kickoff to start the second half, so this is a golden opportunity for them to go down there and put up a couple of 6s back-to-back. What a momentum swing that would be.
Yeah, you might be able to get a 2-for-1 without ever even giving up the football. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson, he finds Dorsett. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A first down there on a pickup of 25. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And Jackson throwing once more. This is Coleman with a grab. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Tevin Coleman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. See some head shaking on that defensive sideline because so much focus on taking away what he did last week as NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Big game there for him to start.
I love your observation because you would think they'd be prepared for it after what he did the previous week. But sometimes that skill set actually intimidates a defense, and he used it to his great advantage.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Switch.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen to Smith. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 8. That's complete to Smith. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith in the final seconds of the first half as his guys are back within a single score. Tucker able to connect on the extra point.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Down. 60 outlaw.
Double time. Hey. 4 down.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Would have put him in the lead, but hold that thought.
Yeah, the celebration had to stop, didn't it? Because now you're on a real uptick. You're in the lead. Instead, you're still behind. Have to find a way to regroup.
They'll look to throw here. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 42 yards. Well, you had all halftime to think about what you wanted to do to start the second half. They came out with a big one.
Does that not beg the question? What was happening in the other locker room at halftime? Was that the one play they didn't cover as a possibility? Because they just gave up a big game.
Alpha. No. Check. Go. Big rip.
So they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. Trying to keep those big legs churning, but he's going to go down in the backfield. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think. Because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there.
Go.
Check 37. Jim.
5.
Here's Smith. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. And now we'll get a stoppage here. There appears to be an injured Falcon on the field. We'll check on his status when we get back. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash, and this one just a chipping. Tucker's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a decent drive there to start the third quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time left to go out and get that victory.
It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Dorsett making the catch. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there, first down Vikings. This quarterback now 9 of 17 through the air. To throw is Jackson. And he's got his man on the out route. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Hey, watch it.
On second down, it's Coleman. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game. But it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Throwing is Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete.
The goal of anyone running a curl route is to make sure you try and get defenders on your back and shield them away from the football. But sometimes even when you run a good route, the defense finds a way to knock it away.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away.
Come on now, let's go.
Atlanta now coming out on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
There's a throw over the middle. It's taken in by his tight end. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
This quarterback now a perfect 6 for 6 since taking over. Can't ask for better than that. 1st and 10. Flush to his right. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
You draw Porkins. Check, check. Lucky. He's crashing. He's checking crash.
On second down now, it's White looking for it. Seen but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Now back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on fourth. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a carry for White. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Now this throw caught left side. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
61, match box, lights. Hey, box drop.
They'll set up a throw. And finding the tight end Hooper. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him. And what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th.
Hey, lock it.
On 2nd down, it's White. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. He'll look to throw. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 10. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man on the out route. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. But I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
You got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a fourth quarter lead. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the fourth. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. To throw again, Jackson. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
That play was well covered, just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, we're not able to find any yardage on that one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons. Charles, you'd said the magic number. Was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. 14 yards there and a Falcon 1st down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
On 1st down, White. And some space here. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. It's a gain of 16. 1st down, Falcons.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
He'll drop to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A well-executed 22-yard gain. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Austin Hooper, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
On second down now. It's White down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So decision time now, because a field goal keeps it a one-score game. What are you thinking?
Well, I'm looking at the down and distance, and that's where the issue comes in. It's not short enough that it's a no-brainer and you go for it. You have to analyze this one. To me, you take the field goal, take the points. I don't think you want to risk coming away with nothing.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Jackson. Going to throw again. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
17 yards, first down, Vikings. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Jackson. Complete to Dorsett. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. On the draw play, Coleman. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 7 yards there and a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a one-score game. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit?
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Here's Jackson. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. There he goes, right side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. So all eyes on this Vikings offense. Down by 12. Less than 90 seconds to go. Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Grady Jarrett in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. To try again after the sack. Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Jackson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play.
Ready, break. 5.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Atlanta, they continue to make their case as a Super Bowl favorite as they move to 13-1. And they will head back home next